You are listening to Toronto's only pure metal show, The Red Switch.
I wallowed in shame.
Hello.
Well, what are the chances of Opeth and Tool doing a tour together?
I would love that, and Justin, the bass player, has he said that I think we've been offered 2 or 3 tours with them, or been on the list rather, but they ended up going with other bands.
Yeah, obviously.
So it never happened, and I think their touring cycle for 10,000 days is pretty much over. So maybe for the next, we'll try again. Yeah, I would love to do a tour like that.
Yeah,
absolutely love. I love the band, and I think that would be a really good exposure for a band like us.
You've been playing guitar for a fair amount of your entire life. Pretty much were born with it in your hands. Sort of.
Okay, whatever you say.
If you couldn't play or didn't want to, what else would Mikael do with his life?
It'll probably be something with music, Maybe not a musician, but I would probably work in a record store, even though that's not probably a really good career right now because they're all closing down. But I love records, so I worked in a record store and I'm a really good clerk.
Good salesman.
Yeah, really, and I also worked in a guitar store, which I loved, repairing guitars. So probably something like that, I had some shitty jobs too. And
hypothetical question for you: between Enslaved and Ancient Vikings, who do you think would win a battle royale? And they both get their axes.
Those I think Enslaved wouldn't really stand a chance, especially if they're Swedish Vikings. They wouldn't stand a chance.
Okay.
But they look, like they do actually look a bit like Ivar, the guitar player, especially, and
the bear striking.
Yeah. They do look like Vikings.
What has been your worst touring experience so far at this point?
A few, but we had one actually recently in Turkey. We played in Ankara, the capital, on my birthday, and it was just a horrible day. Not the show was cool, but everything, like the promoter were trying to scam us, and we hadn't gotten paid. So for a while we were waiting to go back home, like leave and cancel, and just go and playing back home. And everybody was fighting in the band, and the crew was fighting. We were on a tour bus that had fleas.
Fleas?
Yeah. And
I thought you said fleece.
No, fleas.
Fleas.
Like people got bite, like marks. And it was raining, and it was just a horrible, shitty day.
Do you carry a picture of your daughters in your wallet?
No, and I'm not in my wallet, but I do on my laptop.
Oh, okay. All right. Are there any groups you haven't toured with or played with so far that you would like to?
To be honest, I don't really care who we tour with. If we're supporting, I want it to be a big band, so there's a lot of people. Preferably a band who is quite different from us. I want the exposure to be massive if we're supporting.
Absolutely.
So obviously it would be good to play with Maiden and Metallica and those kind of bands. Tool would be a good band because I like them too. Priest, of course. Those, the regular band. Rush.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, Rush.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And if we're headlining, we basically pick bands that we kind of like ourselves a little bit. It's more of a. Generally we can play alone without support bands and still have lots of people coming. So if we do bring support bands out, it's a little bit of maybe it's a little credibility factor for us to kind of share stages with the Enslaved or something. But generally it's bands that we like, and trying to look at a good package, not necessarily bands who belong to the same genre. You know, we toured with High on Fire twice, I think, which are way different from us. You know, but it kind of makes a cool package. You know?
It does.
So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much.
Okay. I was actually advised not to ask you this, but I don't care. I'm going to ask you anyway.
Who advised you not to ask?
The people at the radio station
okay.
and general fans. But can you tell me why we're always spoon-fed crap on the radio over and over again, and remarkable groups such as yourself get very little recognition whatsoever? And not a lot of people know the name Opeth or the type of music that it's put out.
Do you work for the radio station?
Yes,
right?
I do, yeah.
But I should ask you that question then.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, and I don't know. You know, we're not a radio-friendly band. Generally, people are like general people, not generally people, but general people are empty, and they just walk around. And when it comes to music, a lot of people likes to listen to whatever they're told to listen to, which kind of means that they listen to what's on the radio or on the telly. And the people in general are not interested in going out digging around the record stores. Luckily, metal fans seem to have a deeper and a little bit more profound interest in their music. That they want to discover bands, and they want to discover them first, and they want to, you know, that kind of stuff, which is very healthy, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think people who kind of listen to the stuff on the radio, they don't really care for music. They just want something on, like whatever,
Elevator
that
music.
they can dance to.
Yeah.
And metal people, as you know, don't really dance.
It's a dance of sorts. Mosh stomping,
I guess,
whatever you
know,
want to
but
call
it's
it.
not a cup,
Yeah.
like you don't, like it's not a foxtrot, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's gonna be like that. You know, if you play metal, you shouldn't expect to be played a lot on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I think the lifespan of metal bands are longer than Three Doors Down or whatever they're called.
Oh,
Five
yeah.
shit.
Three Doors Down. I believe they're Canadian. I hope they're not, though.
Yeah, well, that just came to my head. I don't know what they sound like, but you know, bands like famous bands.
Yeah.
You know, it's they disappear so fast that they're not even a memory. You know, you just forget. They're not even there.
Yeah.
But like 2 months before, they were fucking massive, and then they disappear. But then you see bands like Maiden and Metallica and Priest, and they never put out singles, depending on single releases, but they're still fucking massive.
Mm.
Led Zeppelin, you know, Stairway to Heaven wasn't even a single.
Really?
No, the only single that they put out was Whole Lotta Love, which I think was a promo, like a radio promo, and didn't cause any problems for them. You know, this music is beyond singles, I think.
I was actually listening to Watershed on the drive up today, and one song in particular, Hessian Peel, and I was trying to figure out that one part of the song. It sounds like it's backwards recorded vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Backwards recorded vocals. Is this a nod to somebody, or is it subliminal messaging? What was the reason for that?
It became a subliminal message, but it's just a gimmick thing left over from the demo. And since I mentioned Stairway to Heaven, that's where it's from.
Yeah.
My Sweet Satan is what I'm saying.
Oh, Stairway to Heaven actually has that same verse backwards.
Yeah, well, they're saying My Sweet Satan.
Yeah.
Or I don't think they're saying that, but people have reversed stuff on that song, and I think I hear My Sweet Satan.
Yeah.
Might be true, because Jimmy Page was a little bit of a occult, you know, into the occult.
Really?
Oh yeah, he bought Aleister Crowley's old mansion in Scotland. It was just a gimmick that I did for the demo. I just wanted an effect over there, and just kind of from the top of my head I sang that thing.
Yeah.
And then reversed it, and yeah, it sounds cool. And then once we hit the studio, I rewrote the lyrics, and actually something that was kind of a little bit better, because those lyrics are shit. That's on the album. But once we reversed it, it didn't sound good, you know, and that was the thing that mattered the most, not the lyrics. So we just stick the thing from the demos on there.
Okay.
But most people seem to realize that it's not serious, and that it's a